I often get the question, so which direction should I go? What career path should I choose? Or how do I find a study direction that will be fulfilling, or, that I'll be successful in? And paired with that, I get a lot of people who are in the middle of a study, and then they drop the study because they lose interest or motivation, and then they wonder whether that's just self-sabotaging behavior or if something else is going on. And I think it could be self-sabotaging behavior, but mostly it's just lack of motivation. And that's because they chose a study path or a career direction as a way to get somewhere else. In other words, they're looking to a job, or their daily activity, the job they spend the most energy on, as a shortcut to something else. So somebody will be studying accounting because accounting is going to make them rich, or they want to go to university because that will make them well off or successful, or make their parents proud or something like that. Not because they find that that subject so interesting. So how do you pick interesting subjects to study? It's actually easy. I'll start with the way you should not do this. Do not select subjects that seem easy or difficult, actually. The idea that something that's difficult is worthwhile is not true. Something that is worthwhile is often difficult, but that's not the same thing. Try not to reverse those things. So the study direction or the career direction should be one of three things, and preferably all of three things: interesting, important, and rewarding. And I don't mean rewarding as in it will get you somewhere, as in a shortcut that we talked about earlier. I mean rewarding in and of itself. So it's fun to do, or in the moment you feel important or significant, like it's worthwhile doing. But the most important ones are interesting and important. So interesting, is it interesting to you? So is it something that captures your imagination or captures your interest, that you feel if you learned more about this, then it would be fulfilling, or it would enrich your knowledge or your life? And if the answer is yes, then that means when it gets difficult at some point, then you'll still stick with it because you actually find it interesting and it's worthwhile getting through this difficult rough patch. Same thing with important. If something is important to you, maybe you believe something, or maybe you want to accomplish something, or maybe you want to contribute in some way, and it is important that you do something, that you learn something, or that you become something, or it's important that you participate, then whatever is important to you will carry you through difficult times, because interesting subjects or interesting paths lead through difficulty. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, that saying. Also with important things. So things that are important to you, it doesn't matter if they're important to somebody else. If they are important to you, then when it gets difficult, you will stick to it. You will continue and put additional effort into the subject that you're doing because it is important. Now, if it's interesting and important and rewarding, of course you're going to stick to it. There's nothing is going to derail you. But if you're doing something because it's a shortcut to something else, specifically nowadays, a shortcut to feeling important or remarkable, or just a shortcut to become rich, believe me, it is the hardest thing to stick to, because at some point you're going to come across a difficulty that your brain says, that's not worth it. And when your brain says that's not worth it, there's nothing that will override that. You will literally sit down and stop doing it. You will distract yourself. You will find a way. You will have to go to the washroom. You want to eat. You want to watch movies. Or worse, you're going to browse the internet for God knows what. Shopping, pictures of things, cute kitties, that kind of thing. So your brain is going to try and do other things when your brain says, hey, this is no longer worth it. So please, never do something that seems like a shortcut to something else without the idea of interesting, important, and rewarding, and preferably all of them. You're not going to find the motivation to make it to the end and actually get your certificate or get your promotion or finish your project, because it's not rewarding otherwise. I'll see you in the next video.